Edgar tweets, "Hey guys, wondering if you have had any information on the upcoming The Last of Us film."
No, I mean, there were talks
on the
that
upcoming one. I didn't hear.
Last of Us. You know, the video game.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
I had heard they were talking to Maisie Williams is possibly playing the little girl.
I think that was the last news though, because I haven't heard it, and that was like in the fall or.
And was that locked down at all?
I don't know.
That was just
talks. I think
that
was
a rumor.
Yeah, I don't know that it became official. Definitely talks.
Interesting question, though, because I was thinking about it this morning when I read the show notes, because we were talking about video game adaptations, and that's actually one, if they do it right, that could actually be great, because the video game is so great. So we'll see. Really cool. That doesn't actually mean anything. I take that back. Great video games often don't make great movies, but
it has a story behind it, so at least it has something to work with.
Well, it all starts with the source material.
Yeah,
so if the source material is not anything that's going to interest anyone, then you're not going to have a movie. So
I liked playing Prince of Persia. I don't know if I felt the same way about
that movie was terrible.
No, yeah.
All right, what's next?
Sebastian tweets, "Is Rob Pattinson's Lawrence of Arabia or Angelina Jolie's Cleopatra still going ahead?"
I think Angelina's is, from what I know.
So far, I mean, I don't think it's got an official green light, but it looks pretty.
I think they're in development.
It looks pretty positive.
Yeah,
I would say that that's farther along than the other movie.
Well, I didn't hear about this Robert Pattinson Lawrence of Arabia.
No, that's news to me too. I think this guy's just making it up.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
You're talking about one of my favorite movies of all time. One that usually I don't say, oh, you shouldn't remake it, but that's a movie you shouldn't remake.
That's a tough one. I mean, that's like remaking The Godfather.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Or Gone with the Wind, or one of those movies it's like so iconic for being so singular. I mean, Lawrence of Arabia, and it's long, and it's an epic, but it's slow moving, and it's beautiful.
Here's the thing. I don't know how you would remake it now, because Hollywood doesn't make that type of movie anymore.
That's it.
That, and
no one's
a lot of money.
Sit through a 15-minute intermission where it just says intermission on the
and
screen.
With the music score,
There's no human being in the United States right now that's going to sit through 3 hours.
And then you get the big crowd shots. They would use CGI for the horses and the people.
Yeah, it's just not going to look the same.
But it won't feel as grand, I don't think.
But I will say about Robert Pattinson, I just saw Cronenberg's Maps to the Stars. He's great in it. It's a great movie, and he's very good in it. Yeah, he's very good in it. So.
All right, what's next?
Dexter tweets, "What is a film that makes all of you stand up and go, 'What the hell was that?'"
Oh my God. 50 Shades of Grey.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know, but I guess in the. I'm trying to think.
Like, is it the kind of question where it's like, wow, what just happened? This was so abstract and it did my head in, or like, wow,
well,
I
didn't watch the whole movie, but I saw parts of. Speaking of Cronenberg, Crash, not the Crash that won the Academy Award, but his Crash. And I was like, what is that?
Yeah, with Deborah Kara Unger.
And that's in a good way. Yeah. I mean, I would say the same about, and I was telling you earlier, the most fun I've had in a movie theater this year was seeing The Boy Next Door, the Jennifer Lopez movie. And that's not that it's because it's a great movie. It is great because it's so just ridiculous and sort of purposely whatever it is, it is. So I enjoyed that. And then the other one was there was a movie that Paul Haggis directed. It came out last year. I always forget the title, but James Franco was in it, Maria Bello, Mila Kunis.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It had this
Other people didn't mention that same one.
Liam Neeson and Olivia Wilde, a huge cast. And I have never been in a screening before in my life where the movie ends and literally the guy behind me, who I didn't know, leans over me and says, "What did we just see? I don't understand what happened at all." And there was literally a conversation in the parking lot with me and like 5 other members of the press for about a half hour afterwards, deconstructing this movie, trying to go, what did we see? What was happening? Who was real? So it was a mess, but I guess in a bad way, that was one.
Mary?
I don't know. I feel like the movie I always think about when we talk about films that kind of smack you across the face and leave you feeling completely gobsmacked in a good way is Jacob's Ladder. Because I remember seeing it when I was much younger and not expecting the twist to be what it was and just being completely just gobsmacked. Like I just didn't even know, in a great way, I thought it was so effective. And I haven't seen it in a long time, but I always think that that was the first movie that kind of left me feeling like, what? I think Memento, the first time you see it, has that quality where you walk out and you're like, this is just, I've never seen this. And it's not that it's entirely original, but you just, it's so inventive in the way the story's told and the way things unfold. And it leaves you feeling and thinking about the movie for, many, many hours or days even after. So that's another one that left me kind of going, wow. Maybe not so much what just happened, but I don't know, maybe being impressed by the ingenuity of it. I don't know. It's a good question.
I felt the same way after Fight Club when I saw
I
Fight Club.
was going to say Fight Club.
Fight Club's a great one.
Whoa, in a good way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What the hell? That was awesome.
You have to wrap your mind around what
Fight
you
Club's
just
a great
saw and
one.
what just happened.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
William Parcell tweets, do you think that them making Captain America about Civil War kind of shafts Cap out of a proper ending to his trilogy?
I don't know. I mean, because we haven't seen it, so we don't know how much of. Is this the seeds of Civil War? Is it going to be the entire thing?
Well, and now with Spider-Man, it seems like it's going to be less of the seeds and more of
the actual.
Because if he's going to be in there, they have to wind him in through the way they wound him in the comic book. But I agree. I think there is going to be more seeds, with the exception of the Spider-Man inclusion. But we know that Bucky's in it. We know that, Bucky. We know that the Winter Soldier is in it. We know that Peggy in some form is going to be there. So it depends. I mean, there is a way I think you could do Civil War and still have closure to Steve Rogers' story. And in fact, without any spoilers, Civil War does end with closure to Steve Rogers' stories, the comic book. Whether they're going to adapt that in the movie or not,
I think they're going to change it up.
I would almost guarantee you they will. But my point is there is closure to Captain America in Civil War, the comic book. There's in the source material. So I'm sure they can find a way to have closure for that character in the movie. And I do not think it'll be the last time that you see Chris Evans as Captain America. So.
Well, yeah, he has like a 7-picture contract,
Right.
so
And
I'm
he's
sure
only done,
they're
like,
gonna.
3 of them.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely utilize him. That's why I think they are gonna change the ending from the comic books to the movie. But I also think that he is moving on to directing, and as a personality and as a celebrity, he's kind of on to other things, Chris Evans, and I don't think he wants to necessarily be entrenched in so much Captain America for the rest of his life or for the next 10 years. So I don't necessarily think he would mind all that much if the final film in the trilogy of Captain America is also setting up a new era for Marvel and for all these characters. Like, I don't know that he's like nuts, you know?
We have heard rumors that he's looking to get out of it.
I think he's
sooner
tired
than later. Yeah, I think so too.
Well, at least it's not as much overshadowing as Batman v Superman, because that's like the Superman sequel, and then now it's Batman v Superman.
That's a whole other story.
That's
a Superman sequel that became a Justice League prequel.
Yes, exactly.
Where this, at least the title is still Captain America Civil War.
And Cap is the lead in the comic book.
Him and Iron Man.
Yeah. And so it makes sense.
With Spider-Man in the middle.
I mean, I think it's a little disingenuous to call it. I mean, they should have just said, we're making a Civil War movie. But if you want to tie it into Captain America 3, that's the perfect franchise of all of them to tie it into.
Yeah, you also can't say that we're making a Civil War movie for people that don't read any of the comics and don't even know what Civil War is necessarily. I think they kind of have to have the Captain America name in there for the millions of fans around the world that love the movies but maybe never read the comic
don't know who
books.
Civil War is. Yeah, it's true.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.